iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here, race fans, tonight to the Watkins Glen International Speedway, located in the rolling hills of New York State. The drivers out of the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series for red light racing have made their ways. They call it the wine capital of the East. Well, you have Sonoma out in California for great road course racing, and of course their wine. Well, here in the New York area, this is their road course and their wine country. Well, we tried to get you the Ringling Brothers Circus to come out here tonight. Instead, we have the 1987 cars here at the classic version of the Watkins Glen International Speedway. And when we talk about the classic version of Watkins Glen, back in the 70s and the 80s when NASCAR was dominant with these 1987 cars, the Aero Coupes, they came here to Watkins Glen. To you newer race fans, you may notice on the back straightaway there's a bus stop. They call it the bus stop down the back straightaway. That here tonight is going to be eliminated. It is going to be a straight shoot down the back straightaway after you come out of the S's, and you will lead you down into turn number 5. This course, well, only 7 corners, 2.5 miles. You say 7 corners and 2.5 miles. Well, Daytona's a 2.5 mile track, ain't it? Yes, but it does not have the hills, the turns, and the twist that this track is going to have here tonight. Drivers coming in that have locked themselves into a playoff berth, only 3 drivers: Max Terrell, Jason Wells, and Sean Butler. Those drivers don't have to worry about this race here tonight. They can go out, have some fun. The pressure is off. Talking about pressure here tonight, drivers are already starting to make their way to the starting grid. Let's take you down trackside here tonight to get our starting lineup, brought to us by the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. This is your starting lineup here tonight. Starting on the pole with a quick time of 1 minute 13 seconds. Driver that is locked in, well, this is the 42 of Max Terrell. Starting to his outside and be number 2, driving the Alienware number 64, this is Jason Wells. The driver out of Ayer, Massachusetts, driving the Sean Single Racing number 11 here tonight at Watkins Glen. This is Sean Single. Out of Florida, driving the Classics Hot Sauce for tonight, the Nickelodeon Machine, driving car number 10 of Tim Blum. Starting back into the 5th position, he is driving car number 24 here tonight. It's the DuPont 24 of Zach Mitchell. Starting back in 6th, driving out of Ohio, driving car number 88. He's picked up 1 win this season. He will drive the Valvoline entry the 88 of Sean Butler. Starting back into the 7th position, driving Rev Esports, number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. It's the Full Throttle Racing Turbo Dork Radical Paints number 98 out of Canton, Michigan. This is Ryan O'Donoghue. He'll roll off 8 here tonight. The driver out of South Carolina, the Full Throttle Racing 01 Chevrolet, the Adventure in Pixels 01 of Richard Murdoch. Starting 10th here tonight, rounding down our top 10, driving car number 62 out of Tennessee. This will be Ethan Troutman. DJ Anderson will drive car number 51 here tonight, while Chris Hammett driving car number 6 will have to start 12. Starting back into the 13th position here tonight, hailing north of the border, just north of the Watkins Glen International Raceway, this is Tim Williams. Joe Strano driving car number 43. He's got a throwback paint scheme on here tonight. He'll start 14th. Wow, it's the Yeet turn. Car number 5 out of Norman, Oklahoma. The number 5 of Brandon Minto goes 15th. Brandon Feeney, car number 38, the Liquid Molly K1 graphics entry. He will go 16th. Philly Edwards driving car number 973 will go 17th here tonight, while Brian Bianchi out of Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe, number 14, will go 18th. Dave Bragg in the Bragg Motorsports, number 31, Jiffy Lube entry will go 19th here tonight. How about car number 4 here tonight? JTG Racing, Jeffrey Sousa will roll from the 20th position, while the other driver out of Norman, Oklahoma, driving car number 19, though. This is Travis Minto. Dalton Williamson, the Rev Esports, number 61, finished second on Thursday night in the modified division. He will start 22nd. 23rd here tonight on the starting lineup. It's the number 41, the Checkered Flag Auto Supply driver. This is Bob Higgins going 23rd. 24th, it's the Australian, the 184 of Kevin O'Brien. Tim Combs in car number 17 says it's great golfing up here in New York, but he'll start 25th. 26th will go to the Granny against Walkers and Canes, number 13 of Joshua Buckley, while Blade Timmons will go there. And 27. 28th, the Higgins Hill Racing, number 40 of Rob Higgins will go 28th. 29th will be the 59 of Bruce Potter, and it's always his fault. He'll start dead last here tonight. It's the other brother out of the Strano Brothers Racing Stables. It's car number 3 of Tony Strano. 30 cars do make the grid here tonight as you see them come down here. We talked about that bus stop not being there. It'll be a straight shoot here tonight. Turn them loose here tonight. 40 laps will be the distance for these 1987 machines. Rumble strips, grass, braking will all play a big factor in tonight's race here. Cameras located all over the speedway, though, to catch that great racing action. Remember a couple years ago, it was Michael McDowell had a pretty big accident right here. Hope we see somebody tonight get involved in an accident there. There is no safe spot here at Watkins Glen. YavRacing.com safety car will make its right-hand turn 1 corner from now, and we will go racing. 40 laps on the docket here tonight for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series. And, well, with only Watkins Glen, Dover, Kansas, and Talladega left, a bunch of question marks. Who will win here tonight and lock themselves in and not have to worry? Here comes the Beast from 1987. Green flag coming out. Green flag into the air. We're racing 40 laps on the board here tonight. Everybody makes the call. Look at them as they come down into turn 1. Looks like Max Terrett will hit the curbing. He'll bounce the right side tires up into the air here. And we're down, we're away from turn number 1. Doesn't look like anybody going for a ride. Down in turn number 1, Bob Higgins a little slow. It looks like he took it very easily down into turn number 1. Up through the S's for the first time here tonight. Wells, Terrio, Blum, your top 3 drivers. Look, no bus stop, straight shoot. This is the back straightaway. 1 car way out of line down the back straightaway. I believe that was the Kevin O'Brien entry. This is the driver out of Australia. See the number 1. I believe that's the 61 of Dalton Williamson right there in the mix. We said Dalton finished second. He actually picked up the big W on Thursday night. That was Blade Timmons that finished second. Jason Wells got a little wheel hop, and he lost the race lead to car 42. Max Terrell qualified on the top spot. He'll lead lap number 1. One driver, I believe, having some issues. That is Kevin O'Brien, there you see the shell, number 184, off the speedway. Also having some problems, there is the number 4. Jeffrey Souza also had some problems. He is back out onto the speedway, though. He had to take his underbird through the grass. A lot of drivers already spreading themselves out. This is a race that is a marathon. You won't win this one in the first handful of corners. You will not win this in the first handful of laps. You can lose it in the first handful of laps. That is for sure. Kevin O'Brien, Jeffrey Souza both have a long way to go now to try and catch back up to the field and to work themselves into a good finishing position. The Culpepper's Bakery and Cafe, number 14 of Brian Bianchi, battling with Tim Combs, and that is the number 61 of Dalton Williamson. Here comes the 923 of Blade Timmons. He'll have to get on the hooks, and oh, the 61. Dalton Williamson sideways there, eating up the tires in front of 61. Taking a look through the field here, and a lot of these, paint schemes that we see on these cars here tonight. One driver around, I believe that's the 59, that is Bruce Potter. Talked about a great paint scheme. Look at that old throwback there, the pink and yellow Clementine replica. Race leader now, though, starting to pull away here tonight. The 42, Max Terra, opened up a 1 second gap now. See back behind him, there's Jason Wells in the Alienware number 64, those neon yellow colors always on all of his cars. And then you see the Nickelodeon slime machine of Tim Blum. So Blum is sitting in third, and it's the Hot Wheels car. That's something that we haven't seen before. Out of the number 11 of Sean Single. There is Single in that Hot Wheels number 11. For Sean Single, maybe throwing a nod over to Kevin O'Brien. Kevin O'Brien, a big Hot Wheels fan, I guess we should say. And the one car that did stick out to me here tonight, of course, is the number 17. The 17 may look like a car that a lot of you race fans know from back in the early days of NASCAR racing. But, of course, to all of us here with Red Light Racing, as you see the tire smoke, the 31 going around. Dave Bragg, and nowhere for Blade Timmons to go. We'll get back to that story on car 17 here after we take a look. Oh, and now Joshua Buckley. I don't know if there's some oil down in turn number 1. Granny has gone around to car number 13. Take a look, though, here. Right on board. This is with Blade Timmons here as he comes down into the corner. See the 31 go around. The 38's going to get collected. Oh, and Timmons nowhere to go. Right into both cars. All cars do drive away from the accident. Back to our Tim Combs, number 17, though. Couple seasons back, we had Leo Bornage here in the series, and he always drove that Pepsi Challenger paint scheme. No matter what car it was, Leo always had that Pepsi Challenger paint scheme on there, and it was just iconic. A lot of NASCAR, like I said, fans will remember it from driving around, tracks like this. And of course, we remember that paint scheme from Leo. Leo, unfortunately, retired from the iRacing.com simulator, and he always lives on in the record books here with Red Light Racing. So every time I see that Pepsi Challenger entry come out onto the speedway, I think of him. Murdoch, though, is thinking that he needs to get going. He's got the 24 of Zach Mitchell all over him down the back straightaway. You see that 24. Everybody over that bump that sits there. Coming down into turn number 5 here. Very slow sweeping right-hander. But you got to carry a lot of speed off the corner to get down the short chute. Haven't missed anything out front. Still Max Terriel. Still Jason Wells. Wells did close in a little bit as Max Overshot turn 1 last time. Let's see if he can get through turn 1 a little bit better this time as your race leaders come by. They did complete lap number 5 here. There will be no caution flags unless the entire field will have wadded up in turn number 1. And the Ringlings Circus Brothers did not wad him up. So Max with a great turn 1 up through the S as he comes. He'll be setting his sight on the back straightaway. Right on board here with the 42 down the back straightaway. Listen to it come up through the RPM band, and then all of a sudden he's going to have to slam on the brakes. Right there, very easy. Back crackling through the exhaust, and got to try and save the tires as best as you can. Brandon Feeney in that Liquid Motley K1 graphics entry looked like he has been off track once again. Same with Kevin O'Brien. And Feeney is actually going to go up. He's going to tag the wall that time as they start to come down the back straightaway. The 40 of Higgins and the 3 of Strano both have to avoid him. It was probably Tony Strano's fault coming up through the S's. You know, we do look at this Brandon Feeney entry, and we do notice the Canadian number 38 on the side of his car. Probably one of the most iconic numbers here with Red Light Racing. Of course, Brandon Feeney also, when he races his Legend up in Ontario, has that same 38 with the Canadian flag inlaid in it. Beautiful. Absolutely love it. Not too far from home here, as it is just over the border from Canada. A couple-hour drive. Not very far. '14 of Brian B. Yankee has gone off the speedway. That is down in turn number 1. Went way wide down in turn number 1. Let's take a look. What happened to the 14? Did he get a little wheel hop? Did he lock him up? Oh, yeah, he definitely got a little wheel hop. Turn 1 has been a big problem, and look at him as he just saves it. Almost into the tires there for the 14 of Bianchi, but he saved it. There's your race leaders. Terrill and Wells, between the two, they have a couple of wins this season. And with them picking up their wins, they don't have to worry about this race. 5 wins out of 6 races between the two. The only other driver that has a win this season in the Scrambler Series, well, he is well back here into the 10th position. He has dropped 4 spots since we went green flag racing here tonight. It's a driver out of Ohio, car 88. John Butler, the only other driver to go to victory lane. Will we see a new driver here tonight go to victory lane, or will all this points championship talk about getting into the chase, will it go down as you see the 45 of Williams snake out of the way of the 88 there? Williams, another one of those Canadian drivers here tonight, not far from home. Remember, we all go playoff racing. That's if you're inside the top 12. Got to be inside the top 12 and have completed more than 50% of the races. So if you win and only compete in, well, 4 out of the 10 regular season races, you don't qualify. That happened the other season to Sean Butler. Of course, not being able to with his surgery to qualify for all the races, did pick up a win, but was unable to race for a championship spot. This season, doing a little bit better. How about one car to pit road? Here comes the number 5. Minto coming to pit road, bringing that Buffalo Wild Wings number 5 down on lap number 9. Looks like he is going to run this one backwards. And by backwards, I mean he is going to pit here, shorten up his first stint of this run, and then see if he can run long out the back door at the end of this one. Left side tires going on first here tonight, and then right side tires will go on that Chevy. There you see now the right side are going up. A very slow stop here. It looks like 23.3 seconds for Brandon Minto. He is down and away. See everybody really stretched out. We told you it was a marathon race. All these drivers are going to come down to strategy of staying on the speedway, not getting themselves in trouble, and when do I pit? We've already seen one driver come to pit road. We'll see if that strategy for Brandon Minto plays out here. He said he had to really focus tonight. For all the Murdoch fans out there, I know that fan base is pretty big and pretty loud and wild out there. The driver out of South Carolina, the adventure in Pixel 01 of Richard Murdoch. He is sitting pretty good here tonight. He's sitting in the 7th spot. He's picked up 2 early positions tonight, starting back in 9th, now running 7th. The old U.S. Air Force C-130's Hercules crew, where Murdoch spent a lot of his younger years, he told us. So old Dick Doc right now is sitting there in 7th. We'll take a peek through the field, try and find some of your favorite racers. Well, how about one of those rookies? Who's the highest running rookie right now? Blade Timmons in car number 923. You see the front nose damage on that Rev Esports BK Paints entry. Still having himself a good run, though. He has picked up the most spots. He is the highest running rookie out of the 2 that are out here tonight. Timmons now running 15th, while the other rookie, well, there you see him, the Labatt's entry. The 973 of Philly Edwards is back there into the 17th position. That is exactly where he started. Another driver coming to pit road. And he loves road course racing, so he is going to get off strategy here. I believe the 43 of Joe Strano was trying to come to pit road there, and he actually just missed pit road. There you see the famous red and blue Petty scheme of Richard Petty. Drove that car on the victory lane 200 times. Of course, Joe Strano is a really big Petty Enterprise fan and always running the number 43 here with Red Light Racing and all his racing endeavors on the iRacing.com platform. And we just talked about Philly Edwards. I'm being told Philly has just lost it. Turned the Labatt's can around. Tried to take a swig. Take a look. What happened to Philly? Turn 1. Down to the rumble strips. Got on the rumble strips on exit. The car bottomed out, and oh man, that was a big hit. I don't know how that car is going to continue. Come back live. It actually looks like he's doing pretty well. I thought the right front suspension may have gave way. But Philly Edwards still out there. One driver just coming out of pit road. There you see the number 14, the Culpeper's Bakery and Cafe. The Thunderbird. Yankee will come up through the 4-speed H pattern here in these cars. Up the hill he climbs. Right-hander, left-hander now. And then down the back straightaway. He has gone 1 lap down while making his pit stop. Of course, you see the number 10 of Tim Blum out in front of him. We'll see if he can get back out on the race lead lap, because Max Terrell is your race leader still, and he has opened it up to just over a 1-second gap here tonight at the Watkins Glen International Raceway. It's Terrell, it's Wells, it's Blum, your top 3. Sean Single, you see him in the Hot Wheels car. He's still sitting there 4th. How about the man who's sitting in 5th? Loves road course racing. One time tried to start a road course racing series here with the GT3 cars with Red Light Racing. Unfortunately, didn't get too much participation. They had some good racing, just didn't have a lot of drivers. And Ryan O'Donnell was really pushing for that road course series to take off, because there's nothing out there road course wise that runs on a weekly schedule. Of course, we only get to come here one time in the Scrambler series to a road course, and this season, of course, is here at the famous Watkins Glen International. And I believe, actually, if my memory does serve me right, you want more road course racing action? Well, we have it for you. We will take the modified series on January the 6th, right back here to the Watkins Glen International. We will put the boot back in, though. Little bus stop, actually, not the boot. We will put the bus stop in at Watkins Glen when we bring the modifieds. A little bit of a throwback if you're a modified fan out of the Northeast. You know that the modifieds ran here at Watkins Glen. Maybe we'll see Ryan O'Donnell make an attempt at that one on Thursday nights. That would be fun to see Ryan O'Donnell stepped behind the wheel of one of those modifieds right here at Watkins Glen, having himself a really good run. But he's got Michael Trevarthen closing in that green Rev Esports Thunderbird. The BK Paints neon green and black entry. There you see him. Races on Thursday night with those modifieds. Well, those strong competitors. Look at drivers coming to pit road, though. Here comes your race leaders. Here comes the 42 of Max Terrell. Here comes the 64, 10, the 11, the 98, the 2. Everybody except for Zach Mitchell. Mitchell says, I can take this 24 one more time around. Does not get the lead that lap, though. Max Terrell pitted after the start-finish line, and he was already past that spot. These cars here tonight very quiet as everybody is spread out away from our cameras. Half the field down on pit road right now. Your top three, as you see on the timing and scoring, Mitchell, Butler, Timmons, all have yet to come to pit road. A whole bunch of Chevrolets towards the front of the field right now as that pit sequence is going. There you heard Zach Mitchell as he came past the camera. He was very quiet. Pretty much coasting this 24, trying to go as farther than anybody else on the tank of fuel here tonight. Very ginger on the throttle as he comes down the short chute. Looks like a lot of drivers that came to pit road. It was 4 tires and fuel for everybody. One retiree here tonight, the number 61 of Dalton Williamson on lap number 7 has called it an evening, while Dave Bragg back on lap number 9 has called it a night. Does look like Kevin O'Brien is down on pit road for the last 3 minutes in the 184 entry. See if he can come back out, or see if we can get a report from that crew down there for Kevin O'Brien. There's Max Terrell. He did come to pit road. 4 tires and fuel, came out running in the 5th spot. Now 4th, now 3rd. That's the 59 there, Bruce Potter. Potter, a longtime member here with Red Light Racing. Driver out of Alabama. So Zach Mitchell, the race leader. Question being, when will he come to pit road? Sean Butler also staying out there. You see Zach Mitchell sideways in car number 24. Max Terrett, who did come to pit road, we're waiting for him to come back around here to be able to see the lap difference. Last time by for Zach Mitchell, it was 3 seconds slower, exactly 3 seconds slower from his best time to his last time. So we're going to see where Max Terrett is able to come out here. It was 1 minute 45 seconds last time by for Max. That's including his out lap on his pit stop. This time by, we're going to be able to see. He goes from 145 down to 113 for the fastest lap of the race here with 25 laps to go. So Max Terrell with a 1 minute, 13 second, one driver blowing through turn number 1. That is the Bob Higgins Checkered Flag Auto Supply Ford. He did not hit anything, but he was well off into the weeds in turn number 1. So the question being, when does Zach Mitchell pit? I'm not quite sure. He is still out there on the speedway. There's the number 13, the Grady Hips, Walkers, and Canes. Checkered Flag Auto Supply number 13. Joshua Buckley has come to pit road. The 24 still going for it. Maybe he's trying for that one-stop race. Mitchell and Butler are still on that same strategy, but they're being eaten alive. Here comes the 42 of Max Terrell. I'm really interested to see this strategy here because, like I said, Watkins Glen, it's going to come down to strategy. When do you pit? How many times do you pit? And it looks like with this being a 40-lap race, Zach Mitchell, Sean Butler are going to at least try to go to lap number 20 because there will be no caution flags here. There's no halfway break. There's no caution flags unless the track is completely wadded up and the iRacing officials here tonight say, yes, we need that caution flag. Here's a pass on the 14th and 15th position. Joe Strano trying to get around the Buffalo Wild Wings, number 5 of Brandon Minto. He will be able to make the pass before turn number 1. So Strano now will take over the 14th position. We talked about Blade Timmons being the biggest mover of the race. Hold that thought. Something happened to Bruce Potter. Car 59 down in turn number 5 was off quite a bit. Oh, it looks like a little bit of a brake fade there for the 59. Comes in, and that little extra runoff space that the owners here at Watkins Glen had put in just saved the 59 of Bruce Potter. We saw many, many years ago the unfortunate loss of JD's car down there into the weeds in turn number 5. That was back in 1991, if my old mind here does serve me right. So Potter to pit road. Probably needs to change his shorts. Zach Mitchell, Sean Butler, and Max Terrett is there. That's how your top 3 run. There you see it. One driver way out down the turn number 5 there off the runoff. That was the Philly Edwards in the 973 entry. So Mitchell, there's Butler, and one driver going to lock him up there. I believe that was Joshua Buckley. Max Terrett will take that second spot. Now here comes the 88 of Sean Butler. He'll come to pit road. Looks like here comes the number 40. So the 88 coming to pit road. Bruce Potter still down on pit road. Battle for the race lead with 22 to go. Butler will fall through that timing and scoring. We'll see where he comes back out onto the speedway. But this is the battle for the race lead. You can definitely tell Zach Mitchell is trying to go just one stop here tonight. Last time by, he was 3 seconds slower than Max Terrett. Well, you can see the 24 not going to put a whole lot of effort into trying to hold off the 42 of Max. Looks like Zach Mitchell is actually coasting that number 24. Still trying to exactly hear that. And he is just very ginger coming back onto the throttle. Yeah, you can hear that car pretty much sputtering off the corner. He is trying to push it, and that's something that we've seen drivers do here on Monday night. Is just push the envelope of the limits of the fuel. Josh Buckley once again in car number 13 going around. I believe this is down in turn number 1. A lot of runoff area down there. That is. The cane must have came off the brakes. Take a look. Let's find out. Down into turn. Oh, yeah, the rear end just coming around. Granny Hips definitely broke her hips on that one. Wells going around Zach Mitchell now down the back straightaway. See that famous black number 3 tonight here, driven by Tony Strano. It's probably his fault that Joshua Buckley looped it down in turn number 1. Sean Single under pit stops as you see the 13 of Buckley just trying to limp it back around here and stay out of the way. Sean Single has got around Ryan O'Donnell after the pit cycle. As right before the pit cycles, that spot had exchanged hands. Zach Mitchell now with exactly 20 to go. He will bring the number 24 to pit road. It is a one-stop race. He is probably the, well, along with the 88, I believe Sean Butler could go the rest of the way on fuel there. You just saw in that camera shot the number 13 of Joshua Buckley. Looks like his car has broke here tonight. He will be out of this race. Race leader with 20 to go. It's the man that has the second most wins in the series for Red Light Racing. The 42 of Max Terriel still continuing to set the blistering pace here tonight. The 88 of Sean Butler came down pit road last time by. And this is his first actual up-to-warm lap on those tires. He will slot himself back into 12th. Lost 2 spots, and he's going to gain 1 instantly there from DJ Anderson. Looks like right now Sean Butler is about a little over a second and a half actually faster than your race leader. Remember, Sean Butler came down pit road on lap number 18, while your race leader, Max Terriel, came down on lap number 13 here tonight. Zach Mitchell came down on lap 20. He was the last one out of the entire field to make a pit stop. Brian Bianchi back down pit road. Joshua Buckley still continuing to sit on pit road here tonight. Uh-oh, Buffalo Wild Wings dragging the sparks on car number 5 here. And it looks like turn number 5 collects another one, and it looks like that car is pretty beaten up and mangled. Take the replay here. Down the back straightaway, oh, hard onto the brakes. You can see the car sideways, gets over the bump. And the grass not going to save him into the safer barrier down there. Those tires that have been put there, and you see the sparks just dragging out from behind the number 5. Not quite able to make that corner. Minto still continuing to have problems as he's trying to bring the number 5 back to pit road here, and oh boy, it's full tilt lock to the right. Not going to make it, it does not look like. Oh, he's going to give it another whirl. Stuck up against the tire barrier now. He'll see if he can get it to pit road. He will. So the 5 will get it to pit road. We stay green. No caution flag coming out here tonight. So Minto doing a good job of getting his damaged number 5 off the speedway. There's the race leader. There is second. That is a 2.2 second gap there. Max Terriel to Jason Wells. Tim Blum is sitting back there in 3rd. 4th is Sean Single. Ryan O'Donnell is running in the 5th spot. Combs still here. Where is some of the drivers we haven't really talked about? Here's the driver out of, I believe it is Virginia, Chris Hammett, still looking for sponsors on his car this season, trying to broaden out a little bit in his racing career, real racing. So if you're interested in putting your name, or how about maybe we can get enough money out there, we can convince him to put my head on the side of his car for this season, or maybe on the hood. Corey LaJoy doing that a couple of years ago. I believe that was with Red Spice. Or Old Spice, Red Spice, yeah. Old Spice, a promo they did with Corey LaJoy. Oh, Bob Higgins with a big wiggle. And it looks like he's actually going to be able to stomp on the brakes. That's because he got his brakes from the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. Of course, you know, everybody with Red Light Racing and all of us here at the Turn 3 Racing Network, we got to thank the whole Higgins family. Checkered Flag Auto Supply, a locally owned business in Ayer, Massachusetts. Of course, coming on board to sponsor, take the naming rights here with our Scrambler series on Monday night, and also takes the naming rights to the Modified series. Of course, the Modified series, you know, really near and dear to the hearts of the whole Higgins family, as up there in the Northeast. It's what they love to go to the Saturday night racetracks and see. I've never seen them in person. Maybe one Saturday night we'll have to take the trip up to Massachusetts there and see what they have to offer with those modifieds. Uh-oh, DJ Anderson off the speedway. Mountain Dew Baja Blast, turn number 6. Locks it up and just takes it wide. No harm, no foul, just needed a little more room to slow down that Mountain Dew Baja Blast entry. No, then he really crossed it up. The tires were still hot. Joe Strano and the 43, and I believe that is car number 45 of Williams. Second place car coming to pit road here. He'll come a lap early, maybe. 64 of Wells says with 16 laps to go, now's the time to make your final pit stop of the evening. So Wells comes down. That'll leave Max Terrett all out there by himself with Tim Blumshaw in single, Ryan O'Donnell, and old Mr. Murdoch. Uh-oh, Ryan O'Donnell issues up through the yeses. Uh-oh, Ryan O'Donnell lost a tire down in turn number 1, and he tried to bring it back around. Something happened. Let's see, maybe we can go far enough back here. Possibly. No, it doesn't look like our crew had a camera on Ryan O'Donnell, unfortunately, but we do have a camera on the number 10 of Tim Blum as he comes to pit road. So Tim Blum coming down, 15 laps to go. Brandon Minto still sitting on pit road, and well, if you're out there in our YouTube chat, you can exactly see what Brandon Minto thinks of his driving ability here tonight at Watkins Glen. So it's Darrell, it's Single, it's Murdoch. Blum's down pit road. Couple drivers also coming to pit road for the final time. Here comes Ethan Troutman, Blade Timmons. Also down pit road. Bob Higgins is down there. Ryan O'Donnell, he's going to have to sit there for quite a while to get his car fixed. Wells back out there on the speedway, 22.5 seconds in his pit stall. About 54.25 seconds from pit entry to pit exit. Travis Minto, the driver out of Norman, Oklahoma. Coming in the other season as a rookie, and he's been here on Monday nights ever since. The only thing that we hate to see is, of course, he doesn't. Or does he? Now I'm confused. I'm looking at the wrong stats here. He does compete on Thursday night still. Hasn't been able to make every race, but still is over there on Thursday night. We got stats all over the place, so that's how long we've been here with Red Light Racing. And, of course, yeah, you start to look at one, you don't see one, then you look at the next week and picture, oh, he was there. Just like, well, down on pit road, here comes the 11 of Sean Single now. Richard Murdoch also bringing the adventure in Pixels. 0-1 to pit road. He'll pit behind his teammate, Ryan O'Donnell, who his crew has got, somehow magically got his tire back on that car, but it's still sitting all cattywampus. Race leader still here tonight is the 42. Will he come to pit road? It does look like now he will come to pit road. Here comes Murdoch back out onto the racetrack. So let's see, where is Wells? Wells right now is sitting about 35 seconds back. Will he be able to come by here and take the race lead? Let's watch the 64 here. He is coming through the short chute now between turn 5 and 6. Max Terrell now hitting his pit stall there. You see the 42. There comes the 64 off the final corner. He'll set his sights down the front straightaway. As he comes down the front straightaway, there sits in his pit box, still is the 42. Wells now being scored as the race leader. Is he in the catbird seat? Because who do you see out the back there? Well, there comes Max out of pit road, but he is sitting at least 7 seconds back, if not more. Sean Butler is in between both of them. Joe Strano will come to pit road here. There you see the 43, the STP oil treatment, making his final stop with just 13 laps to go here tonight. So Wells has the race leader. We're waiting for him to come back around to the timing and scoring stripe. You do see the ticker is still counting. There you see Max. There you see Tim. Sean Butler, I believe he will stay out the rest of the way with 13 laps to go. He will not have to come to pit road. He pitted back on lap number 18. And I believe he can go the rest of the way on the fuel that is in car 88. You see the 14, that's the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe. Number 14, Brian Bianchi. Bianchi will just pull over there in the final turn, go a little wide and allow the 88 of Butler to sneak on through. Philly Edwards to pit road also. Uh-oh. One driver off course. The 11 of Sean Single. Single having himself actually a very good run here tonight. He is down 3 spots from where he started this race. Started 3rd and now is running back in 6th. But for a driver that's not really known for his road course ability, he's still here tonight. Oh, big lockup there by the 38. Brandon Feeney. Big lockup with that Liquid Molly entry. And he actually does hang on to it. I thought for a moment he was going to wind up down there stuffed into the tires in turn number 1. Jimmy Johnson did that about, well, what? Call it 20 years ago now at this point, down into turn number 1. Seen a lot of drivers over the years lose brakes down into turn number 1, hitting the inside and then clearing. Jimmy Johnson cleared the racetrack down in turn number 1 before hitting the styrofoam barrier. He got out and, of course, did a dance on the hood of his car, as he was very lucky that day. And then he went on to be, well, a champion 7 times over. So, the deficit as they come back around here, 8 seconds it was last lap. Now it looks a little bit under 8 seconds. Oh, closer to 7 1/4 back there. To the 42 of Max Terrett with just 11 to go. He was called exactly 1 second faster than Wells last time by. Look who's coming back out onto the speedway, too, the number 5. Brandon Minto's back out after a number of laps. 8 laps down now. For Minto, he has a couple spots he can actually pick up as long as he can keep that car rolling out there on the speedway. Has to pick up, it looks like about 4 laps, and he can actually jump up into 23rd as long as Ryan O'Donnell is not able to get back out there on the speedway. Race leader Wells down the short chute, coming to get 10 to go. Butler actually came to pit road in car 88. Maybe just didn't like where he was sitting. They knew they didn't have the race-winning speed in the 88, so he gave up that 3rd running spot. Came to pit road. Now comes out, but he's got 4 fresh Goodyear radials. Or actually, those are the bias ply here tonight. Does have Tim Combs right out in front of him. There you see the number 2. That is Michael Trevarthen. Trevarthen, of course, had to spend about 2 minutes down on pit road, so he is off the race pace back into the 19th position right now. He'll swing wide. He's 1 lap down the Wells right now, who's still the race leader. The gap, though, just over 5 seconds with 10 laps to go, so if Max can keep the blistering tear that he is on, that was a 1.5 seconds faster last time by for Max Terrio. There you see both cars down the back straightaway. There you see Sean Butler trying to get around car 17. He'll get around Tony Strano. That's not a battle for position as Strano is back there into the 18th spot. No real big challenge there from Combs. That's a Challenger entry, and now Sean Butler will be scored 8. Combs is not, he was tied for the most positions game, but that actually will now go to Blake Timmons, a driver out of South Carolina. Timmons here on iRacing when he's not working on his late model or racing in Florence, down in South Carolina. Very quick on Thursdays with the modified division. Shows quite a bit of speed when we go to the short tracks here on Monday night, but the road courses aren't quite his favorite. Races in a lot of big races also here on the iRacing.com platform. And he has very squeaky pedals, if anybody wanted to know. You ever talk to Blade Timmons as he's out there practicing, you can hear every time he gets on and off the gas and onto the brakes, they go squeak. I actually offered to send him a bottle of WD-40 that we have sitting next to our rig down here. Didn't take me up on the offer. Said he had that monkey juice or something. Philly Edwards has turned the Labatt's entry around. I believe that is down the back straightaway. What happened to Philly Edwards on the back straightaway? Did he lose it coming up over the S's? Oh, it actually looks like Sean Single was into the back of Philly Edwards. Oh, and then look at Brandon Minto. He's like, I just want to try and finish. Right on board with Edwards. Sean Single looked like he just didn't know what to do with his hands there. And Minto goes flying through. Edwards rights the ship. There is Sean Single. He's still out there. He's still turning laps. He's trying to run down Zach Mitchell that's out in front of him right now. So the top 4 spots right now are held by Chevrolets. It's a Ford, 2 more Chevrolets, another Ford, 2 more Chevrolets to round down the top 10. A lot of those blue ovals back there sitting right around the 18th, 19th, 20th position and on back. One driver has made his return to the speedway. Here comes the Turbodor Radical Paints entry, the driver out of Michigan. His Thunderbird looking more like a tin can here now. So Ryan O'Donoghue, he's going to try and hold off because him and Brandon Minto are battling, I believe, for the 23rd. Minto is actually still 1 lap behind Ryan O'Donoghue. So as long as Ryan can stay on the track for 7 more laps and outduel car 5, he'll have a 23rd place finish. Otherwise, Minto will take that. And we talked about, we only had 3 race winners here all season long. And with us being already over halfway, that's going to leave a lot of spots in the championship to get to the chase just on points. And you talk about chase, ooh, here comes Max. That storm is blowing in. On board with your race leader. Look at that black number 42. It is coming in a hurry. These two will duke it out for the win. They pitted 3 laps apart from each other. Wells came in on 24. Max came in on 27. He is there. Great run that time off turn number 7. Max is there. Now the question is, with 6 laps to go, does he cool the tires off on the 42? And wait for Wells to make a mistake with those older tires. You just saw Wells open up the door down at turn number 1. Up through the S's they come. It looks like the 64 going to bottom out here. This is not a passing zone here. Max is going to try and set him up to see if he can get a run. He'll get a run to the outside here out of the final corner here of the S's. Down the back straightaway. They will drag race this one. Down the back straightaway. There you see the 42 will nose ahead now. So Max will nose ahead, but here comes the 64. He has the inside, and a little wheel hop there by Wells. That's going to allow Max Terrill now to take the race lead. Can he run away and hide? Minto has taken car number 5 to pit road. So now does Wells have anything to attack back on Max Terrill? As this time by, it'll just be 5 laps left here tonight at the Glen. Down in turn 1, we've seen so many drivers have problems down here. Even last time by, Wells had a little bit of an issue in that 64. Both drivers very smooth there. It looks like Wells just being very ginger now on the throttle with his Alienware Chevrolet. And I know for a lot of you race fans going, Alienware, Steam, they were not even around when these 1987 cars were out there on the speedway. Yeah, we know, but the greatest thing about iRacing, and even if it was the NASCAR 2003, is we can paint these cars with our favorite sponsors, or, well, even if they are backed by some of the sponsors like Max, Richard Murdoch having some sponsorship help from his friends. We can paint any car, any color, with any logo, sponsors on it. It's absolutely amazing to see what some of these artists, these painters are able to do. Ryan O'Donnell with that Turbo Door Radical Paints 98. He's still out here. He will be safe from the Brandon Minto entry. Brandon Minto not able to get back there onto the racetrack. DJ Anderson, Tim Williams, Bruce Potter, Kevin O'Brien, Dave Bragg, and Dalton Williamson all are out of this event, so Brandon Minto will be safe there in 24th position here tonight. Ryan O'Donnell will be safe, I believe. Yeah, he will be safe this time by from any advance from Brandon Minto. Max Terriel just driving away. He is now opened up a 1.8-second gap over Wells. Tim Blum is still sitting there in 3rd. Sean Single is 4th. Zach Mitchell is 5th. Richard Murdoch is running 6th. Sean Butler is sitting there in the 7th position. Chris Hammett is up to 8th. Tim Combs is 9th. And Blade Timmons picking up 17 spots so far. He is running there into the 10th position as you see him come through the final turn. A little sideways, trying to cross him up. Quiet night for the number 4 of Souza since his first lap, little off-road excursion. That number 4 has now rallied back to 9th, so a good rebound by the number 4. He's been off track 5 times in case anybody wanted to actually know where the night for the number 4 has gone. Sometimes Jimmy, the stat guy over here, has us on cue, and has us sitting pretty good. There you see the number 40 of Rob Higgins getting passed by the number 2 of Michael Schwartz, and that is a battle for position along with Brian Bianchi right here at Culpeper's Bakery and Cafe. They're all battling for the 16th, 17th, and 18th position, respectively, on the speedway. With just 3 laps to go, they're coming to get 2 to go this time by. Another light up there. Tim Combs going a little wide. He's running in the 9th position. About 3.5 seconds back from Chris Hammett. So 3 laps to go. Whose fault is it? Well, it's the number 3 car, Tony Shrano. His fault, sitting 19th. Philly Edwards having a problem. Oh boy, that Labatt's entry is pointed backwards. Can he get it refired and turned around? It does look like he is starting to move a little bit, but has to wait for an opening to bring that Labatt's entry. And that's a throwback Labatt's. I can tell you, I've never actually seen that logo by Labatt's. I know, call me young. There's the gap between Terrell and Wells, your top 2 spots. They qualified 1 and 2. They run 1 and 2 with just 2 laps to go. 5 miles of racing now actually under, calling about 4 miles of racing left here tonight. Lap traffic, there's Philly Edwards out in front of your race leader. Well, this one's not quite over. Oh, Philly not quite sure where Max wanted him to go. Philly going to go to the inside. He's going to hit the wall. Philly Edwards stuck on the inside. He's going to lose the right front tire. You see that bounce in there. Max getting very lucky there trying to work through the lap traffic. Wells actually had to check up. So he's actually going to lose some ground. No pressure, though, behind Jason Wells. There you see Wells, and then way back yonder, there's that Nickelodeon entry. That is Tim Blum. And then Blum doesn't have anybody behind him because Sean Single's now coming around, as it will be 1 lap to go, presented by the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, the final trip around the speedway for Max Terriel. Max has done everything he needed to tonight. He's made 2 pit stops. Oh, that's Tony Strano. Is going to make contact with the 42 of Max Terriel. Terriel going to try and right the ship, but won't be able to in time, as Wells will go by. As it looks like Wells has lifted, as Max Terriel having some problems. Max now getting passed by the 10 of Tim Blum. On the final lap, chaos. Take a look back here real quick. What happened to Tony Strano? Down into turn 1, gets on the rumble strip, and when he comes back to the accelerator on the rumble strip, it spins the tires. The 3 goes into the wall. And as he tried to get out of the way, he goes backwards and then tries to punch it, but with the damage on that car, he's going to go down to the corner. It's just going to bank a left, and Max had nowhere to go. Max had nowhere to go, and then Wells comes through. He'll come through the final set of corners here. Wells will win in shocking fashion here tonight at the Glen. Your race winner, Jason Wells. Tim Blum will come off the final corner with Max Terriel in tow. It'll be Blum in second, Terriel back in third. Where is Sean Single then? Because he is being scored in fourth. He'll come off the final corner, and he'll limp that Hot Wheels number 11 with the nod to Kevin O'Brien back across the line in fourth. Zach Mitchell will come across. He will be scored in the 5th position. Richard Murdoch should be scored back in 6th as of right now. There you see the Adventure in Pixels machine. He'll cross the finish line. Sean Butler, with his strategy, comes across in 7th. Chris Hammett will come out of turn number 7. He will bring the 6th car home in the 8th position. 9th will go to Tim Combs, and rounding out the top 10 will be the number 4 of Jeffrey Souza. So an exciting one here tonight. As well, the best thing about that crash is Bob Higgins can stop over at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply tomorrow and get parts to finish that car off. So a little bit of a crazy one, unofficial finishing order over there on the left-hand side of the screen. As we're taking a quick break here from Watkins Glen, we'll be back here with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply post-race show for Red Light Racing.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome back, race fans, here to the Watkins Glen International Speedway. A wild finish here tonight for Red Light Racing, as Jason Wells was able to pick up the win here tonight. in crazy fashion. I don't believe we're going to be able to get a word in with the driver of car number 64 here tonight, but you talk about a race that had strategy. He was off sequence there from Max Terrill at the end of that one. Lost the race lead, though, with just 6 laps to go as the 42 of Max Terrill was able to get around him, and, well, he ended up getting back around Max on the final lap. He will pick up the big W here tonight. Finishing, though, in the second position, we do have him, the driver of that Nickelodeon entry out of Florida. Tim, tell us about how crazy this race was here tonight at Watkins Glen.
I heard someone else mention it. It was actually kind of lonely. Sean and, or I guess Jason and Max, they just kind of slowly pulled away, and then I was kind of pulling away from the guys behind me. So just running my own race. We didn't have it as a team tonight to keep up with those top 2 really fast guys. I saw they qualified like 5/10 faster than me. I was hoping that might have been a hot lap thing, but it turned into a full race thing. So I know Max had a rough deal there at the end, but congratulations to him for he stomped the field. But Jason got the win, and congrats to him as well.
How hard is it out here? We don't normally run the 1987 cars, and we definitely don't make right-hand turns a whole heck of a lot. So how hard is it then for that one race a season and then put it in one of the hardest cars?
Yeah, it's a challenge. I mean, there's no corner that you can take a break on, and I found myself after pit stops, you can lock up the tires and mess up your whole run because you've locked up the left front. Now it's not as good. And you got to stay focused every corner or else you'll miss it. And, yeah, it's a big challenge out there.
Well, challenge complete here tonight as you finish second. Who made this slime machine possible to be so slimy to come home in second?
Yeah, old slime time. I'd like to thank my wife. I think my dad's watching, my sister, and my crew chief, Patrick. He's asleep at the wheel, though, right now. So, yeah, not the finish we wanted, but it'll be fun to go back and watch on turn 3, and we'll be back next week.
There you hear it. Tim Blum out of Florida will finish P number 2 here after a crazy last lap at Watkins Glen. We talked about Max Terrill finishing in the 3rd spot. He is, of course, unavailable as he is in the big trailer here tonight. He will be scored at the end of this one. After leading the most laps, he will be scored 3rd at the unofficial spot here tonight, so he finishes 3rd. We do have a special interview, though, for all the race fans out there tuning in. We have the driver of the Hot Wheels. I believe this is a Kevin O'Brien. Oh, nope, it is Sean Single. Sean, you confused us out there with that Hot Wheels sponsored entry tonight, but a good run for you.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with it. I didn't have much expectation going to this. I knew I had the short end speed, and I knew that Tim, Jason, and Max were going to be pulling away at the end there. So good to salvage a 4th place finish. Just kind of figured where I would be.
You come into this, not a road course guy. You don't usually run the 24 hours. You don't run too many road courses here on iRacing unless you really have to. But when we do come to the road courses, you seem like you actually usually bring a pretty good piece.
Yeah, the practice that goes into this, I was kind of practicing all coming up through this one. Just with the road course win last year, I figured this would be the spot to maybe sneak a win in, sneak into the playoffs. So I spent a lot of time this week just working by myself going through this.
How much time did you and the team put here just trying to take tenths of a second off these lap times? Because these curbs here at Watkins Glen, they can either help you or hurt you.
Oh, we did a bunch of talking, just figuring out which gears we should be in, even in the last couple of turns, even down to like the carousel as well. It was all over the place. I think I must have had like 12 off tracks just from one in those last 2 corners. So it's a difficult track, but honestly one of my favorites.
It is one of the best here on the iRacing.com platform. And how about it? You run on Thursday nights with the Checkered Flag All Display Modified Series. You get to come back here in a couple of weeks, but with an open wheel modified.
Oh, yeah, I got that one circled, too. Hopefully we can take it to him. I'm sure Max is going to be the one that's running up front there. So we'll see what we can do.
Well, good to hear from you, Sean, after a crazy 40-lap event here tonight. 4th, who made this all possible back home.
I got to thank my mom and dad. They're watching all the time. BK Paints, they make great paints. Can thank the guys down at Rev Esports, too. They've done a lot for me over the past couple seasons. Sorry that I had to step out on them. But thank you as well for everything you do with Turn 3 and how you're helping out Red Light with all this broadcasting, and then all the admins too, Josh, Rob, James, and Richard.
There you hear it tonight from the driver who will finish 4th. The driver of car number 11 here tonight is Sean Single. A pretty quiet, solid night, and he will finish inside the top 5. So you heard from Blum, you heard from Single here tonight. They both finish 2nd and 4th. Wells and Terry, of course, unable to get a word in with those drivers here tonight. So we'll see if we can catch up with them over the next couple of weeks. More Red Light Racing action, though, coming this week. You can catch the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Modified Series on Thursday night back here at the Thompson Speedway. They come back home north for their 3rd race of the season. And, of course, you can always find more Red Light Racing action on Monday when the Scrambler Series does return. We will head, though, on the 20th of December for 100 laps at the Concrete Monster at the Dover International Speedway. 100 laps before we head to our Christmas holiday. So, race fans, if you're looking to buy me anything, I think Sean Single's out there already shopping for me. I'll take a race car fully built, ready to go. Then all I have to do is strap in and go to the racetrack. All right, I'm just kidding. I know that's on every one of these drivers that competed here tonight. That's on their Christmas list. So we hope that the race families out there, the wives, the girlfriends, the moms and dads, grandparents out there can get these drivers behind the wheel, because we will definitely like to see what they could do once the springtime hits and we can all go back to the racetrack. But for everybody with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, everybody with Red Light Racing, my name is Roger Muth with the Turn 3 Racing Network. We hope you enjoyed tonight's show here from the Watkins Glen International Speedway. We'll be back next Monday night from Dover.